In this video, I'm going to show you not only how I managed to repair almost for free 2 dishwashers that I bought online, practically given away, but also a good business opportunity. What's causing it and what can you do? Also, what I'm going to show you can help you repair many appliances and see how easy it can be. It began when I wanted to replace my falling apart dishwasher. If you've seen my videos, you'll notice that I almost never buy anything new. I always buy it broken and fix it myself. For example, my washer, dryer, or the broken drone I recently bought. I started searching for a dishwasher. I mainly wanted it to be large and in good condition since they often get rusty and look ugly. Mine was actually like that, rusty and broken. After searching, I found an Electrolux electric dishwasher that was spotless. It's stainless steel and quite large. It took up all the space I had. The problem is that it was showing error 4, and honestly I have no idea what that means, but anyway I bought it. When I brought it home and plugged it in, it showed error 4, but by listening, I quickly knew what was wrong. The noise was coming from the drain pump. I know because it's the same noise my other dishwasher used to make, and in fact the washing machine makes the same noise. If the pump turns on as soon as we plug it in, the dishwasher likely detects flooding or water inside. I immediately began taking it apart. When I looked at the bottom, I could get an idea that the problem was coming from there, since everything was too rusty and corroded. It was already falling apart, with no metal left in some areas. And there was something stuck to that rust on the bottom, like a piece of plastic. When I took it apart, I could clearly see what it could have, as you can see against the bottom. There's this mechanism, which if you look is a switch with an expanded polystyrene ball. What this does is that if water spills, for example, from a broken hose, the bottom gets flooded, and when it floods, the ball rises and activates the switch. This causes the dishwasher to drain itself to prevent it from filling with water and getting completely damaged. It looks like the metal sheet bent due to corrosion, and the switch was always on, detecting that. So, since I had no way to replace the bottom sheet, what I did was simply remove that switch so it could never be activated. Anyway, if that thing happens where the hose breaks and it fills up with water, or whatever the water is, it's just going to go straight through the hole in the metal sheet. And well, there's no need to have that safety mechanism anymore. I hoped it would work by itself, so I set everything up and turned it on to see what happened. When I turned it on, I saw that it no longer showed error 4, so now it could work. I put it in place. It fit just right with some effort. To test it, I added soap and loaded it with plates and dirty items from around the house. I closed it, pressed start, and it began to fill with water and worked perfectly. So basically, we just turned a dishwasher that we bought for 6,000 pesos or $20 into one that's worth about $200 or more. Really crazy, right? I had the second dishwasher for a while, but it was broken. The truth is, this one didn't show an error. It simply did nothing. When you turned it on, you could press the buttons for half an hour as many times as you wanted, but it never turned on. Not even a light or sound. Nothing, nothing, nothing. This could be a bit more complicated, since it might have suffered a power surge or a burn, or, well, a lot of things. But, well, I decided to try anyway. This time I knew it was something electronic, so I immediately started taking it apart to see where the circuit boards were. What's that? If you saw the video of me repairing the washing machine or fixing the 4 monitors, you know we need to disassemble the board to find faults like blown capacitors, burnt parts, or damaged traces. Like I did with the washing machine? But here everything looked perfect, so something came to my mind. What if the thing that's broken is the power switch? You mean the little button that turns it on? I took out the button and looked at it closely, and I saw that the little leg was kind of green or rusty, and I said, here's the problem. To make sure, I used the clip to make contact as if it were the button, and it turned on. This little button is really cheap. For $1 we bought a bunch, and I actually already had some. I used the soldering iron to heat the contacts, remove the old part, and solder the new one. I should mention that the ones I had were a little smaller, so to compensate and make them the same height. I used the original to measure and soldered it with the legs, leaving them slightly out for the correct height. After soldering both, I reassembled everything and finished. Another dishwasher working perfectly, but I didn't keep this one for very long. I posted it and sold it in just 2 days for 25,000 pesos or about $80. I got a better dishwasher than before and made about $60 profit. Not bad? To recap, let me tell you why I always do this. We buy items, repair them, and then keep or resell them for a higher price. And yes, it's a risk, but what if we can't fix it? I'll just resell it as broken for what I paid, so we recover our investment. There's no way we can lose, although I always do it as a hobby or when I need something. Anyway, that's a great business idea. I considered selling the old one, but it was junkyard ready. Even giving it away was costly. I disassembled it and saved many parts that could be useful for other projects. Like, for example, the 220 volt water solenoid valve, the water pump, and a few other little things I found here and there. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed, please leave a like. See you next time. Bye.